Hi, sorry you haven't heard from me in a while. I've been so busy, just been bogged down with assignments. That's pretty much what uni's like at the moment, a lot of assessments. As I said earlier, you get them all at once, so it is pretty hard to keep up, but I've been managing to keep up. I just submitted my last assessment actually last week, and I got pretty good results for it, so I'm happy with that. One thing they're really picky about when it comes to uni is referencing. So when you do essays, just make sure that you double check that you've got all the referencing correct. What I tend to do is with the essay that I wrote, I pretty much just did the whole essay first and then did all the referencing at the end. I know that some people at uni like to use EndNote in Microsoft Word. It does save a lot of time, I must admit, but I'm pretty old-fashioned, so I like to do things the old-fashioned way, so I pretty much just got the referencing guide from the internet. Every university might be different in terms of their referencing guide, so I just used that one and I got 8 out of 10, so I was quite happy with that result. What's been happening in uni life? Assessments and more assessments, pretty much. I'm doing a new project at the moment where I actually have to do a little bit of filming. So I did a little bit of filming today. Thank you so much, Mike, for helping me out with that. You're a lifesaver. Pretty much I had to do a short 3-minute film whereby I actually have to film someone going on some sort of journey of discovery. So I had to do something along those lines. It's a fun unit, but there's a lot of technical terms involved that I'm not sort of quite familiar with as yet. I'm sort of getting there with it, so very, very slowly getting there with it. So but it's quite interesting, you know, seeing what's on the other side of the camera. Because, I mean, digital video is, as a journalist, is not as relevant, but say if I wanted to be, say, a video journalist, it's helpful to know how to operate a camera. So it's quite good. And I have an awesome lecturer. He's quite amusing actually. He's quite a funny guy. He has quite a good approach to tutorials and to the lectures. You know, he's fun to work with, and it's always good to have someone who's fun to work with. What else can I tell you about what's been going on? I also had a presentation last week, a group presentation, which, yes, to begin with, I did freak out about a little bit, but I had a colleague to work with, so he was quite good. He gave me some good advice. It was on one of the, we have readings to do each week, so it was on one of those readings. The thing that sort of stumped me a little bit was that I didn't actually understand the reading, so it was a little bit hard to do a presentation on something that you don't understand. But that's where my unit for presentation skills actually came really in handy, because we have this thing each week we have to do, which is called Just a Minute. Just a Minute is sort of where you're given a topic, and you pretty much have to talk about that topic, but you can't repeat anything. You can't repeat a word or a sentence or anything like that. Otherwise it's hesitation, or someone else that's in the audience will point it out, and that's pretty much. And you've got to try and reach a minute. I have managed to get up to about 13 seconds so far. So I've got a little bit of work to do in that respect. If I'm going to be talking in front of a camera, you know, as a news anchorman or whatever they call them down the future, then yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. So that came in handy, because there are a few tips in the presentation skills unit that I sort of put into practice when I came to do the presentation, because I was freaking out about it a little bit, I must admit. So I just sort of thought about what we'd learnt in the presentation skills unit, and I didn't actually manage to say at all this time, which was great, because I do tend to say a lot when I'm nervous. My group member did a fantastic job, which I have to say, Matt, you did a very, very good job. I did the best I could about a topic that I didn't have much knowledge on. I sort of grasped on one idea from the text and sort of used that and then just got up there and did it. And I'm just so glad that it's over. But presentations are a part of uni, so I'm sure I'll get the hang of them after a while. What else? It's pretty much it for the past couple of weeks. Just all assessment work. And I have a job interview tomorrow, which I'm very, very excited about. And which uni will also come in handy for, presentation skills once again. So I'm very excited about that. That's a retailer sales assistant role. It will make it a lot harder to be able to do social stuff. But, you've always got to find time to yourself, because I think that's really, really important. Otherwise, you just go crazy after a while if you're just doing uni work and work all the time and study. It's just, you got to find time to yourself. And yes, sometimes for me it's hard to avoid distractions, but I think I've been doing pretty well in terms of keeping up with the workload. Workload's been quite high, but I've been keeping up with it basically just by doing it as you get it. It's sort of the main thing. Tutorial write-ups were also due this week. For the first 6 weeks, we had to choose 6 of our best tutorial write-ups, and those are basically just, we write up about an activity that we've done in class each week, and that's for a unit called Introduction to Journalism, which I'm also finding still it's quite interesting. So that was due today. So I submitted that via the internet on Wednesday, and it was pretty hard trying to choose which 3 that I liked, because I did a lot of sort of editing work on it to sort of make sure that it was all correct, and I referenced well, and just thought which 3 are my best. So it was a hard decision, but I got that one in on time as well. I think the video one, the making a 3-minute film, that's going to be the most challenging for me, because I'm not the greatest practically wise, but I'm working on it. Which is why I'm actually doing a little bit of a dance workshop. That's sort of something that I'm actually doing on the side as sort of an escape from uni life and stuff, and also to keep fit, because dancing helps keep you fit. I know I'm not the greatest dancer in the world, but it's a sort of training myself for a bit of hand-eye coordination. So I think that this dancing will certainly help, because there's a lot of cardio with it. So that sort of helps you unwind, and yoga sort of helps me unwind a little bit as well. Just a few tips if you're wanting to unwind. I know that everyone's not really into yoga. I personally do like yoga. I like jogging. I'm not exactly the greatest at yoga, but it sort of allows a bit of flexibility. So that's pretty much it for the moment. I've got a whole day off tomorrow, in which I've got to do an essay, which is due in next Friday. I have an idea of what I'm going to write about. I think that's the best thing to do, is just to get all your research together first. And once you've got all your research together, then you can just start writing it. So I've written a basic introduction, so I'm just going to use some research and start writing it out tomorrow, because I've got a lot of reading to do. That's one thing, if you're doing journalism, there is an awful lot of reading to do. That's what I found out. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I know. I've just got to keep at it. And no more mental breakdowns after the last one that I told you about. I think I'm doing pretty well with that. So life is good at the moment. Job interview and going to uni, and still keeping in touch with good friends, and everything's going pretty well so far. I'm getting there. I'm looking forward to holidays though, mind you, to having a bit of a break from it all. But so far so good. So you'll hear from me again soon, and thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting, and I hope everyone else is at uni, and if it's your first semester, then hope you're doing well, and if you're well into your studies, then I hope you're also doing well. So I'll see you next time around. Catch you later.